Hello everyone, I am Paul McGuire Grimes from Paul's Trip to the Movies. The 2014 film Nightcrawler was a sleeper hit for Jake Gyllenhaal, Rene Russo, and writer-director Dan Gilroy. Now they've reunited for Velvet Buzzsaw, which you can now watch on Netflix. In it, this elusive artist mysteriously dies, and now his work catches the eye of various dealers, art gallery owners, advisors, and art critics. But this all comes with deadly consequences. It also stars Toni Collette, John Malkovich, Billy Magnuson, and Daveed Diggs. This is the third film for Dan Gilroy as a director, following Nightcrawler and his huge misstep that was Roman J. Israel Esquire. His films never contain simple narratives, so you'll know within 30 minutes if Velvet Buzzsaw is up your alley. His opening art show really invites you into the kind of, at times, pretentious and obnoxious environment of that scene. We're introduced to Jake Gyllenhaal's character, Mort Vanderwalt. He's a notorious art critic, as well as other artists, advisors, and a gallery owner, played by Rene Russo. They're all full of lies and deception and kind of use their sexuality for their own selfish gain. Dan Gilroy is certainly making a statement about the commercialism and criticism of art really in any medium with the caricatures he's created and the names he's chosen for them, like Morph, Redora, and John Don Don, to name a few. There's a certain seedy LA crime story feel to it when he's really grounding the film in realism. But then he starts to veer into the absurd when he turns to supernatural and horror once the death toll starts to rise. This is, I think, where Dan Gilroy will start to lose about half of his audience, like I mentioned earlier. There's this trippy, what am I watching? I don't really get it vibe to it, much like the art that he's featuring in this movie. For Jake Gyllenhaal, Morph is another oddball character that he really gets to play around with. This indie side of his career is always fun to explore, whether it's this, Nightcrawler, or Okja, which is another Netflix movie. He adapts this lavish, syrupy voice for Morph, clearly poking fun at the snobby critics as he spews out a plethora of $10 words. Toni Collette and Rene Russo also get to have a lot of fun with their characters. Velvet Buzzsaw has that experimental nature to it. There are, in my opinion, a few too many characters and diversions, taking the film off track at times, but I think it's really worth a watch on Netflix if you're looking for something completely different. I'm giving it 4 out of 5 ticket stubs. If you like my review today, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. I have reviews of other Netflix movies like Dumplin' and Roma. And then don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Paul's Movie Trip, and then go to my website, paulstriptothemovies.com, for more reviews, as well as a link to my podcast, Paul's Trip to the Movies, on Podcast One and Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for watching today.